Alright, so as you can see, we have the MSI Creator monitor here. Actually, the PS321QR. Like any of us ever actually remember the model number of these monitors. They need to make them a little bit easier. It's one of the downfalls of not scripting, right? But luckily I got my backup screen here. But anyways, the MSI Creator monitor here. And I don't want you to take it that way, because even me, the first time looking at it, I was like, well, I don't create on my Windows PC, right? I do that on my Apple products, you know? So again, I was kind of like, meh. But when you dive deeper and start looking at the specs of this guy, number one, 32 inches, 1440p, 167 hertz, 1 millisecond gray to gray, rapid IPS, you're thinking like, Creator? That sounds like one heck of a gaming monitor. So taking a look at the back of the monitor, as you can see, you have a little MSI branding on the top right corner. You have this little RGB ring going around where we're going to attach our stand, and it is also VESA mountable. Now, as far as ports on the back for video, you're going to have two HDMI 2.0s, one DisplayPort 1.2, and then a USB-C. Now, as far as HDMI, you're only get 144 hertz. You're going to have to go USB-C or the DisplayPort 465 hertz. And by the way, in your box, all these cables are included. Now, when we come over here to the left-hand side of the monitor, we have more ports on top of the USB ports and audio jack on the bottom. Number one, you have an SD card slot here, two USB ports, a microphone, and a headphone jack right here. So again, you're just covered with all your connections on this monitor. And then on the back right-hand side of the monitor, you have your power button and then your navigation joystick for your menu, which we'll dive into that here shortly. Now, taking a look at the stand they give us here, it is quite a big one and quite a heavy one. As you can see, the whole underside is metal there. And then you have your adjustable arm up here. Now, to attach the stand, you're just going to take your stand, the little teeth up there are going to clip into there, bam, and it's going to hold this position. Take your 4 screws, and it's going to screw on the side. And again, as I stated, it is also VESA mountable. All right, so now that we have our stand attached here, just seeing the adjustment of the monitor, as you can see, it can go all the way down and then up right here. And it does take a little bit of muscle with this 32-inch right here, right? But again, it goes down, up, holds its position very nice right there. You actually swivel it left, quite a good distance, as you can see right there. All the way right, and then a little bit of tilt back and forward there. Now, there is no swivel with it going left and right, again, with it being such a big monitor here, but again, you have plenty of adjustment with this thing, no matter where you try to tilt it. So one last look at the monitor all set up before we actually go plug it in. I just wanted to point out, again, very slim bezels. Yes, you've got that little black edge around these corners there, which you'll see when we plug it in, but again, on the bottom, it's just that nice matte silver look right there. MSI logo just blends right in. Power button on the bottom right there and everything. And again, your stand with the little silver edge going around it. Again, it's just minimalistic. It's crisp. I think it's going to flow with any setup. All right, so we are plugged up and looking good. Let me just tell you what, this is no color adjustment. Just again, looking at my logo, if you've watched any of my other videos or my monitor videos, just the crispness, the crispness of the reds and the whites. This is stock settings. I'm not going in here and dabbling with all sorts of stuff either. This is straight out of the stinking box. Again, with one of the presets they have set right there. But again, before we dive too deep into the picture, one thing I don't like, mild complaint here, talking about that stand again. It is big, it's girthy, and it's heavy duty, right? So as you can see it right down here. So, and mine's curved to the side. So whenever I game, I take my keyboard, bring it to the side, and then my mouse over here and everything, right? So if I kept it straight, I'd have to almost game straight on, because again, it comes out, and again, it's quite a big footprint under there. So my recommendation, or for me, again, being primarily a gamer, it would have to be VESA mounted. The stand got in the way for me. But other than that, going into our settings again, we can use that little joystick on here on the back right, press it in, and you can get all of these options right here. Quite a bit of options, to be honest with you. But the cool thing, rather than having to navigate right through there and everything, we can go right down here and pull up the Creator OSD by MSI. And it's going to give us all of our options once we connect our USB. So taking a deeper look at the Creator OSD here. Again, it's different per each setting you have. So say if you go into your movie setting, it's going to load up and save those settings right on there, so then you can again tweak those as they are. My personal favorite was the Adobe RGB, which again, you're getting that 99%. You're getting 99% sRGB as well. So, I mean, again, the colors are just phenomenal. I didn't even go in here and tweak anything. It's just as is. You also got the split window that you can set. Your tools over here, different adjustments you can do. Macro key. Up here with the little RGB ring is where you control the RGB on the back of the monitor. Different zones, different effects. But again, back to the good stuff here. Get into standard. Some of your screen assists over here, as far as like creator. Take a look at this one here. So it'll throw up these grids. You can press start, throw up these grids on the screen. So again, if you're doing like some certain layout, you got that print right there, that backdrop right there to help you out with that. Multiple different kinds as far as different rulers, measurements. Again, this is definitely more for the creator person right there, right? You also have picture in picture, picture by picture and everything. And again, everything can just be set right in here, all of your settings. And then again, you save each different one. So if you're gaming, watching a movie, doing a project, video or photos, you can go in here, bam, click it, have that setting per that setting by snapping a finger and be able to adjust it all. Very simple. All right, so I get it. I understand what a lot of you are probably saying right now. You're like, dude, like, sure, I create and dabble a little bit in the background, you know, but I'm more of a gamer than a creator, and I'd probably go that same route with you guys, you know? I mean, I create a lot, but all of my creating is, again, like I said in the beginning, takes place on Apple products, an iMac and a MacBook Pro, you know? But again, going into gaming here, Call of Duty Cold War loaded up here, and it's just like, I mean, I just want to sit here and sightsee, right? With a 99% sRGB and Adobe RGB, like, it's so hard to implement it into camera, going from my screen to camera to yours and whatnot, but wow, it's just like, again, it makes me giddy. It looks so good. Talking about this smoke right here, this coming up, it's crisp white. Comes up over here with the light and the shadows of the backdrop, the colors of it. It's just like, it's so realistic. It's mind-blowing. It's just the reds to the oranges to the yellows here, to the detail of the leaves on the ground. Now, yes, we are at 1440p. And again, we're talking 165 hertz, 1 millisecond gray to gray on an IPS here. So right there, number one, 165 hertz at 1440p is tough. And I got a 3080 down there with an i9. I leave my settings maxed on ultra. I like that quality of those visuals. I love getting immersed into my games. I'm not really a competitive gamer, but I do promise you, I'll beat you at a round of Call of Duty, right? I love winning, but again, I'm not like this gamer that gets mad if I don't, you know? So again, I like it all right there, and that's what I feel like we have right here. Again, with those great visuals, the great colors, it's just like, the greens, like, just check it out. It's just like, wow. And again, I know it's so hard going from, you know, screen to camera to yours, but I mean, just look at it. Right there, again, with the more smoke coming out, with the blacks are just so crisp. Wow, I mean, it does it all, again, with the colors and then the environment, the immersion. It's just, let's see this grenade go off. Golly, it's just, again, I can't say it enough. It does it all right. Again, with the 165 hertz. I know a lot of us like that UFO test. I'm not a big fan of that because, again, it's coming from here into my camera that's only at 30, and then in whatever your screen is. So it's a bunch of, you know, fluff right there. But again, I'd probably hit around a solid 140 with my 3080 with settings maxed out at 1440p playing Call of Duty, and it's spot on. I mean, even right here, it's just like, wow, no blur, it's just crisp. It is solid. And on top of it, again, you're getting all of that with the great visuals and the great color. All right, so after looking at all that right there, and again, with any monitor, what it comes down to is what are you looking for, right? So let's take it off my experience. Number one, to the point using it here, hands down, no fluff, one of the best monitors I have ever tested. It's honestly the closest display I've ever gotten to my iMac as far as clarity, colors, and everything. If y'all ever used a Mac product as far as heck, even an iPhone, their displays are just crisp, they're solid, and they're butter smooth. This is the closest I have gotten to that. Again, it was just absolutely jaw-dropping. Watching YouTube videos, gaming, or anything. It did the colors and the smoothness, it did it all right. So other than my experience, that was absolutely fantastic. I think there's a couple things that's probably already on your mind, again, looking at any monitor. Number one being the size, 32 inch. Yeah, it's big. You all remember I just recently got rid of my cut in half, my LG ultra wide monitor, right? Downgraded to an LG 27 inch, right? Because again, the LG or the ultra wide, I was panning too much and it just got exhausting gaming, right? And in that video, I stated 32 inch is a sweet spot. And I still stand by that using this right here. Again, if you got the right specs, that 32 inch at 1440p is an absolute gem. It is bigger. obviously, than the 27-inch, and I did catch myself kind of panning up and down a little more than left and right, scooching the monitor back and stuff like that. So again, yeah, I did have to adjust it a bit more going from the 27-inch, but I still think it's that sweet spot for competitive, immersion, again, videos or anything like that. But even more importantly than that, talking about these specs, 1440p, again, 165 hertz right there, is your system going to push it? Me using a 3080 and an i9 right there, again, I'd stay, of course, I max my settings out, everything, shadows and all, right? And I'm staying right around 140 pretty much average. I wouldn't hit that 165. You know, I dabble with my settings and lower them to get up to that 165, but then I'm kind of like, yeah, it just doesn't look right, you know what I mean? So you kind of look at it that route, like, are you going to push this monitor to what its potential is? Can your system push it to its potential? Are you going to use the features packed into it to its full potential? Then you're going to back up the price of $800. So no, it's not cheap, but yes, as you all just saw, it's packing everything to back up that price. What I look at this monitor as is that one and done. I'm not a multi-monitor setup kind of guy. I don't like having an editing monitor and then a gaming monitor. I just can't stand it. I don't like it. You know, it just looks cluttered, you know. Having a one and done like this is fantastic, and I think it does it perfectly. So what I want to hear from you guys is, number one, what do you think about a monitor like this, a one and done, as far as like creation and again gaming, having it in a one package for that price point, which again, I think it justifies it, again, being able to cover both of those important categories right there. But I want to hear from you guys, what do you think? I did a poll recently on the community tab and asked people, what do you game at, 1080p, 1440p, or 4K? And shockingly, I mean, the majority of people are still at 1080p, which really blew me away. You know, I don't want to sound like a display snob, you know what I mean? But I thought more people would probably say 4K over anything now, you know what I mean? Every display in my house is 4K. My monitors are 1440p. And of course, I got my Mac at, what, 5K or whatever it is, you know what I mean? So, one thing I want to just kind of input here before we close this out, if you have not gamed on 1440p, trust you me, you have to try it. That just rhymed right there. But seriously, trust me, when you go 1440p, there's no going back. Like, I don't want to sound like a snob or like, oh, you got to do this, because I know 1440p is not cheap. You can get 1080p monitors under $500 all day long with good, you know, hertz and everything like that, you know, good refresh. But when you go 1440p, it's just like, as far as PC gaming or just PCs in general, it's like, wow, like I wouldn't recommend going 4K on a monitor. But again, that 1440p, once you try it, trust you me, you will never go back to 1080p again. But all right, let's close this out right here. Again, I can ramble on and on about it. I've had such a blast with this monitor, you know. Again, it just makes me giddy. I just love talking about it right here. It was so fun. But please let me know down in the comments what you think. I just want to spark this conversation right there like we did with the 1080p compared to 1440p. Just real curious your thoughts and why you think that way about it too. But all in all, this MSI Creator monitor is an absolute beast. And it is a gem. Complete win right here. But anyways, I hope I helped you out if you're looking at this monitor one way or another, and I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, hit that thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe for future tech videos. I hope to catch you in the next one. Bye now.